We are recording.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Stephanie Clark. I'm the Family Program Director here at Habitat for Humanity of Bucks County. And we are so thrilled that Olga St. Pierre and Jessica Lamer from the Olga St. Pierre team of Keller Williams is offering a second workshop for us this season. I'm so thrilled to be learning about top renovations for our home, especially how to make our house look like HGTV without the budget, which is super fun. If you don't know about Habitat Bucks, we have been around since 1990. And for the past 30 years, we have been making the cost of home affordable in our community. By the end of this year, we will have provided affordable home ownership for 121 families and households. And our households can be single persons, up to large families, multi-generational families. We welcome everyone to have the opportunity for affordable home ownership so that they can invest in their communities and in their financial future. We also have an affordable home repair program for those persons who currently own a home or even a mobile home in Bucks County, those who are looking to provide critical repairs and safety modifications. So if you yourself are interested or know someone who would like to stay in their home with continued independence and safety, please reach out to us as well. We are at www.habitatbucks.org. And lastly, we invite you to visit our restores, one in Chalfont and one in Langhorne. These are home goods donation centers that are open to the public Tuesdays through Saturdays. We have all the fun stuff that you could use to renovate your home and furnish it. Things that are donated by corporations and businesses as well as the community. Very affordable furnishings, painting supplies, appliances, you name it. And I know that Olga and Jessica and their teams really enjoy the restores and always recommend them as well. And if you're looking to downsize, the restores provide free pickup for items that you like to donate to us. So without further ado, I welcome back Olga St. Pierre. Thank you so much. I am so excited to learn how to make my home look way better than it does now.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. So the goal for tonight's workshop is to help you understand that there's so much you can do with some small updates and some tips and tricks that I plan to share with you today. And I also want to share with you on what's in, not just what you see on TV where it gets recorded nationally, but what's in our community and what's in locally. So that's what I have the updates for you. I'm always scouring websites and reading and looking at magazines to see what is the latest thing, something that you can do, and I always try to update it. So this is basically where we are right now for the third quarter of 2020. So just wanted to give you a little bit of intro about myself. I have been a licensed real estate agent for the past 11 years. We service clients primarily in New Jersey and PA, but we also help you pretty much move anywhere in the United States and Canada. So if you have a need or help for that, our goal really is to be a resource to the community and help homeowners or those that rent to be able to do things and be responsible and truly enjoy where they live. And if you do want to become a homeowner, I truly believe that you can do so with just some planning and a budget. So do keep that in mind. And also please consider us as your virtual yellow pages. If you need recommendations for what to do, where to buy, contractors, bustle, any kind of suggestions on who to use, where to go, we are here for you. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'll leave you with the workbook as well as our resources and our contact information at the end of this workshop. So, all right, so what we dream about and what we see on HGTV, and my goal today is to help you understand that you can take those ideas from what you see on social media, what you see on TV, and you can actually make it a reality in your own home. You truly can have that perfect HGTV home. So what I'm going to share with you today is some of the top renovation projects that will bring you the most return on your investment. Right, some inexpensive tips and tricks so that way you may want to stay in your home and make it a staycation instead of going away somewhere, right? Especially now. Best places to shop for some of the things that I make suggestions for that I have found useful, as well as had recommendations from our clients, actual before and after results. And then, we'll talk a little bit about what the current trends are in the 2020 in the time that we're in. So that's the goal for today. Most of the pictures that I share with you are local, or I have had permission to borrow from some of my friends that I have around the country. But again, they're also local and they do make a difference and they matter in our community. And why I bring this up is like, if you're telling me, you know what, I don't know why I need to know this because I'm not planning on moving, but why it's important to be in the loop is because eventually all of us have to move at some point. That's one. And two, our tastes change. I don't know about you guys, but things that I picked in my own home, which is where I'm at right now, when I bought my home back in 2005, are not the same as what I would like now. Right? Our tastes evolve because of our experience, of our maturity. So it's always kind of nice to know what's in style, what's in right now, because why not do some of these updates and renovations for yourself, right? Not when you potentially have to move. And the goal is, again, a lot of these things can be done in the budget. So that's what we're talking about today. Some things that I wanted to share with you in terms of remodeling payback, because I get this question all the time. Well, if I'm going to put in this much money, how much is it going to increase the value of my space, right? So what we're focusing on today when we're talking about renovations really is outdoor and minor things, right? We're not talking about completely tearing up your bathroom or putting the whole brand new kitchen. So this kind of survey is really the most relative in terms of what are some of the minor things that you can do that is going to show the biggest impact on your investment. Right, so we're starting with some of the stone veneer, some work outside, front door replacement, minor kitchen remodeling, and some other things. So I just kind of want you to keep that in mind in general as we're going through the workshop. All right, let's jump right in. Number one thing that you can do to make your home look that much fresher and more updated is a fresh coat of paint. Okay, so when I designed this workshop, I went and talked to all the painting contractors that I periodically use and recommend to my clients, and I asked them, guys, tell me what you use, where do you go, what do you shop for? Okay, most of the painting contractors do like to use Benjamin Moore as well as Sherwin-Williams, right? I understand that those paints are pricey, especially Benjamin Moore brand. So what the good thing is that any colors in the palettes that you see that you like for both Benjamin Moore as well as Sherwin-Williams, you can take those colors to Home Depot and Lowe's, and they have the technology to match those colors. So don't despair. If you see something that you like on Pinterest and you're like, oh my God, I love this color, I want it, just write down the number, write down the color, head over to Home Depot, and they will be able to match it without a problem. So that's the good thing. So today, what we're focusing on are three families, right? We're trying to make things neutral, okay? So we're looking at neutral whites, beiges, and grays. So in the last 3 years that I have been sharing this workshop, I check on these colors just about every year. And guess what? Some of these colors are just plain timeless, so they don't change. So this first group is gonna be your neutral colors. And these colors really don't change in terms of popularity. These are the top popular colors, okay? What I always suggest is like you're looking at these dots and you're like, well, that looks cute on the dot, but how does it really look? So I encourage you to visit the store and you can actually take a swatch and you put it under the light, right? And there's some other ideas that we suggest. So this is where we're starting. Now, next is Sherwin-Williams neutrals and whites as well. Right, these are your top colors: agreeable gray, repose gray, beiges. These are all the top colors that have not changed really in the last 3 years, right? So if you are looking, for example, if your color looks shabby, right? Or if you're trying to make a room look bigger, this is the best way to visually and inexpensively to do that is for you to paint your walls. Right? If you are trying to change up the color because it was yellow and your child now outgrew it, like I'm using my own child as an example, right? She's older and she's like, Mom, I don't want the yellow room anymore. We went and actually used one of these colors in the whites collection, and we really brightened up her room, and it looks huge now. And she loves it because she got to pick the color and we painted together, and that was a great project during the stay-at-home time. So that's, this is where you kind of like, if you're just trying to say, I just want to refresh and brighten up, this is your families of colors for you to play around with. Okay, so here are some examples of the actual colors that were in the top categories that you can use in the homes. And also just keep in mind that you don't have to use the same color on all walls. I get this question all the time. Well, what about, if I really like some of those more dramatic colors, like I like maybe a deep blue or something else. My suggestion to you is do an accent wall. Accent walls are extremely popular right now. And like even an example in this top picture with the fireplace, you can always make that wall your accent wall, and then the rest of them are going to be the same neutral color. So that way you can just, have your eyes drawn to that and, pick whatever favorite color that you like. But at the same time, the room itself is still looking fresh and large. So that's one suggestion. 2020 color palette trends. I find this a little bit funny because I follow the trends. When I looked at these colors, I'm like, wow, this looks to me, all colors are rainbow. But I think the goal is for the companies, what they're telling you is that these are great. Some of these more mature, more rich colors, they're great to be used as accent walls, right? I don't see people painting all of their walls dark forest gray, for example, or dark brown, because it just makes the room look depressing, right? So just consider that. And I invite you to play with colors. And here's how we're going to do this. Okay, so how are we doing samples? There's so much out there, and you'll be surprised at where the technology is. So option number one, if you want to truly put some color in your walls, you can get some of the little sample containers, right? And then you can go around with the paintbrush and you can test the color in your rooms. Now, take my very expensive mistake and take advantage of the fact that you truly do need to test the colors in every single room of your home, okay? Because the color is going to look differently if you are going to be in a sunny room or you're going to be in a room where you don't get a lot of light, when it's rainy day, and when it's light, when it's dark. You need to test it in every single room because it's going to look different. And then you can see which color makes sense for every single room in your home. Okay, that's option number one. Option number two are Post-it notes that's what I call them. They're actual, stickies that are painted in the colors of your choice, and you can take them and move them from room to room because they're easily peeled off. As you can see on the picture, they have them in all different sizes. There are a couple of different companies that make them, and you can get them even at Home Depot. You can get them at Ace Hardware as well. They will paint them whatever color you want, and then you can walk around and put these Post-it notes anywhere you want, and you can see, so that way it's not as messy as if you're walking around with an actual paintbrush. So I think that's a great idea, and they do follow the trends as well. They know what the top colors are, so you can definitely take advantage of that. Here's the Sure Swatch, which is the same service that as the Simplies. They're a little bit bigger. So depending on what your preference is, you can try different sizes. AskVal.com is a free personalized service from Lowe's. And what they do is they help you take what you see on Pinterest, where you start literally, saying, oh my God, this is amazing. And they can actually help you make it a reality, where they look at what the Pinterest suggests and they can actually share with you and show you what colors are in their color line that will match what you see on Pinterest and make that a reality for you. So here's some color ideas. I took this out of a home that I saw not too long ago online. I can tell you that this home sold really quickly, but here's the examples that I wanted to share with you. Remember I was telling you about the accent wall? Here's a perfect example of one. Okay, if you look at it carefully, not only is it just an accent wall, but it's paneling, right? So this is your typical rancher, probably built in 60s or 70s, and they had probably brown paneling, which is not in anymore, okay? So what they did is they took a nice deep blue color and they made that wall a focus because it has a fireplace. What they also did is they painted the shelf and they also painted the surround around the fireplace, and look how gorgeous it looks. It looks very modern, very elegant, and it has that accent color that I mentioned to you, okay? They also did the same thing with the entryway, right? That it is just the entryway. Literally, it's two small walls that are painted around the front door with the same color, I think, as that wall. And they even went as far as painting the shed doors All right, so this picture was taken probably early spring where it was still kind of dreary outside. But when you have a little pop of color, even as small as the shed, it makes a huge difference and it just cheers things up for you. So you can play around with colors in your place as much as you want. All right, let's talk about some other ideas, okay? The technology right now is amazing. If you guys don't want to bother with sticky notes, if you don't want to bother with actual paint swatches or worrying about the paintbrush, you don't have to, okay? You can actually do a couple things. Number one, it's called Snap Your Colors, which is a service from Sherwin-Williams. And if you install that, it's going to be like a little browser add-on for you on your Chrome, on your internet when you're browsing. And what it does is if you find something online that you really like for example, I took a picture of this room. I'm like, oh, I really like this color. And you click Snap Your Colors, it will actually tell you what are the colors in the Sherwin-Williams palette that you can actually utilize to get the same effect in your own home. Right? So that's one service. The second one that I absolutely love because I already played with it, and I encourage you maybe to start there if you just don't know where to start and you want to play around with colors. It's called Visualizer from Sherwin-Williams. What I love about it is that you can take a picture of anything in your home, whether it's inside or outside. You can upload it into the system just like I did here with this picture. And then you can use your mouse and you can use your fingers and you can paint any wall of any color. So this is, I think, a great way for you to play around with different colors and see what those colors would look like in your room. And then you can actually start by getting samples or actually investing in the actual paint. So I think it's a great way, a great technology for you to try things out and see what it looks like. And you can let your imagination run wild for sure. All right, a couple of things just for you to remind you about. Okay, so number one, if you don't feel like going to Home Depot, you know exactly the paint that you want, you can actually order your paint and all of your supplies and they will be delivered to your door. This I thought was an amazing idea if you're going to be painting, so that way you don't forget, because it happens all the time. If you want a refresher but you don't remember where you bought the paint or what the color, put the reminders on the back of your outlet covers. I thought this was genius. When you painted, what room it was, what color was the trim, where you bought it, what color was the wall, and then you can even tape a little swatch so that way you don't ever have to remember. So I thought this was a genius way to remember instead of keeping maybe the paint cans, because remember, once the paint can is open, it goes bad in 6 months. So there is really no purpose unless you're planning on using it in a short period of time. There's no purpose in keeping it because old paint is going to vary in color when you put it on the wall, because fresh paint color and old paint color is going to differ even though it's the same, exactly the same thing. So in terms of finishes, this is important for you to remember. My recommendations is that you have to use specific type of paint depending on where you're painting, okay? Flat is your most commonly used, it's the least expensive, okay? However, it is non-reflective and it's going to show every scuff, every nick possible. So don't use it in high traffic areas. Like if you ever look at new construction, you will see that most of the time the builders will use a flat paint. But if you get a scuff, you can just use magic eraser, which is one of my favorite things of all times, to quickly clean it up. Okay, the only washable paint that you can use, and this is what I recommend for high traffic areas, for kitchens and for bathrooms, is to use either eggshell or satin. So those are your best options. Semi-gloss and gloss are great for trim, for doors. And also, if you're planning on painting kitchen and bathrooms, make sure that you get specific paint made for kitchen and bath because it has antimicrobial items that are added to it to make sure that it's withstands and it's adapted for high moisture areas. All right, let's jump in so I can share with you some of the exciting projects that you can do. Most of the projects that I share with you are something that you can do quickly on the weekend. Some of them are 20 minutes long. Some of them you can even do in one day. So this is the first one. One of the easiest ways you can dress up your exterior is by you painting your front door, okay? Replacing exterior front doors is very expensive because they're heavy duty. A lot of them are metal, or if they're wood, you know, it's going to cost you quite a bit. You know, a lot of them are running, you know, over $1,000. So why not try and paint it? And here I'm going to encourage you to play with color. Look at these beautiful doors that I found that I was like, I love it. And you know what? I have a client friend that I visit on a regular basis, and they just painted their door like an aqua blue. And every time I pull up, I actually smile at that door because it just looking at it makes you happy. And I think that's what we all need, is just to pull up to our house and smile, right? Or you pull up to your place where you live and you smile because it just brings you that much joy. Okay, so a couple of tips. Number one is you need to use specific paint that is made for exterior because it has to be weather resistant. Again, experiment with bright colors for fun and energy, and also express your style with hardware, lighting, and flowers, right? You can easily do that. Here's an example for you. Okay, here's your before and after. Very easy to do. Remember, the scallops are out. If you do want to have a screen door, they sell them in Home Depot where it's all glass for the winter. And if in the summertime you want to take it out and just have a screen, that's there as well, that you can purchase inexpensively. So here they updated the lighting, the hardware. They put a nice metal house number, welcome mat, and 2 beautiful planters, right? And also notice the right planter actually covers an outlet, right? So all of this is very inexpensive to do, completely doable in one weekend, but look how nice it looks. Here's another one. Okay, this project will take you 20 minutes. Okay, it's gonna take you longer to actually get your materials than actually do this. Okay, this is amazing. An easy way to update a garage door. Believe it or not, all these pieces that you see are actually magnets. Okay, so all you have to do is literally just figure out where they're going. It's going to take you longer for you to order them from Amazon and then get it. You can actually put the doors on, you can do hinges, and you can do windows. You can order them on Amazon, just search for household essentials. And it's just a great way for you to dress up a door that maybe otherwise is maybe dingy looking or needs a little bit of pop of color. Project number 3. Let's talk a little bit about hiding some of our unsightly things, right? So what I always talk about here is your trash cans. I get it that it's a lot easier for you to put them close up so that way you can just roll them out. But my recommendation to you is let's put them away and kind of hide them. Here's a great way for you to do that is these lattice items are sold in Home Depot and Lowe's. You can find them also for your AC unit if you have one, maybe in the back of your house. And you can just stand them up, and they're a great way to prevent, you know, from flies getting to your trash cans, something like that. Another great way is for you to put your hose in the basket, which is, you know, going to prevent it from unrolling, and also, you know, make sure that your hose lasts a little bit longer, right, when it's protected from the weather elements. And here I thought it was pretty cool is that someone decided to cover up, I think they had like a big gas meter or like a really unsightly something there, and they just used shutters to kind of close it off. So the ideas are limitless that you can do, but I thought this was a really cool, unique way. And all they're doing, I think it's just standing up. I may not even be secured to the house. All right, let's talk about some other things inside. I get this question all the time in my work where clients say, Olga, I know that my cabinets are dated, but I have no money. I can't replace them. And what we talk about is say, listen, if your cabinet's in great shape, if they are wood, let's paint them first, right? You can always replace them later if it doesn't look good or it's not working out. Right now, Benjamin Moore, as well as your lines of Valspar at Lowe's, as well as at Home Depot, they all make specific paints for kitchen cabinets. So you can definitely explore them, right? And here's my general rule of thumb that I recommend. If you have a small kitchen, in order for your kitchen to look larger, you need to go lighter in color. So my best recommendation is go white. White is timeless, it's elegant, and it's always gonna be in, and it's modern. Okay, so here's one kitchen where they had these cabinets that weren't even bad looking, but they wanted to go from walnut to a lighter color, and they painted them white. Okay, so it is also not a hard project to do. It's going to take you probably longer than a weekend, but it's something that you absolutely can do yourself. Okay, now another thing that I am seeing as in style is that you can have your cabinets that are, perimeter of your kitchen one color. Like for example, here they did white, the perimeter, but in the island, they did a different color, right? And some of the pastel colors are in, like some of that mossy green, like very light gray, like this is a dark gray, but nobody's telling you that you can't do that. I actually have seen kitchens where people did white on top and gray on the bottom, and that looked really neat too. So again, if you're not sure what you want to do, take a picture of your kitchen, upload it into the visualizer software and play around with colors. Now, if you have shiny surfaces, I actually had this recommendation from another designer. She said that the Dixie Built Paint Company makes specific paint that will adhere to like shiny and slick surfaces as well. So that means you can paint just about anything. You just have to kind of figure out what you want to do and make a plan. All right, next. Okay, so this is just another example of the kitchen, right? So these are your typical 80s regular oak cabinets, right? So what they did is they painted them white, updated the kitchen countertop, and they added the pulls, right? So that's another way that we'll talk about is to dress up your kitchen is to add your hardware. Here we go. Here's your hardware. If you don't have any handles right now in your kitchen, I strongly suggest that you get, because we are in the kitchen all the time, right? 3-4 times a day, maybe more. And you are constantly using your fingers. And what's happening is you are scratching the doors and you're scratching your cabinets with your fingers, you're leaving food on it, and it's going to show wear and tear in your cabinetry pretty soon. So my suggestion to you is get some knobs, get some pulls. They're not expensive. You can actually get a big contractor's pack if you go to Home Depot and Lowe's. You can use the same holes if you're trying to update what you have. And this is something that we did and my daughters enjoyed doing it. They unscrewed everything and then they were screwing them back on. And for kids, it was such an excitement because they actually got to do something fun. So the colors that are in right now, we're kind of trying to stay away from gold, right? So like glass is really neat, things that are not shiny, more kind of muted silver, and also bronze is in as well. So see what your kitchen has and what your personal style is, and then, give it a try. All right, project number 6. Here's a cool idea. If you cannot afford or you don't want to buy new appliances because yours are working just fine, you can actually update them and make them stainless steel, right? So the idea is that if you have white, if you have black, here's your befores and afters. There isn't specific peel and stick contact paper that you can put on your appliances to make them look like they are stainless steel, okay? This is what I found. It is right on Amazon. It's very easy to use. It's waterproof. It could actually be removed. It's easy to clean. And you just have to be patient, right? Because you're going to have to take your time and put it on. But it's totally possible to make your appliances look like they're stainless steel if they're still in good shape. So just something fun to try. Project number 7, let's talk about updating your light fixtures. Now, if your light fixtures are in good shape, why not paint them, right? I am a firm believer, let's try and solve our problems and have fun with paint. And if it doesn't work out, you can always replace them, right? So if you still have some shiny things, if it's handles or if it's like some of these light fixtures, whether it's in the hallways or in your bathrooms, Rustoleum is one of my favorite brands. It comes to the rescue, right? You can buy this on Amazon. You can buy this in Home Depot or Lowe's. This one, for example, is metallic paint and primer in one. Okay, so what you do is you just spray paint it. You just have to follow instructions, let it dry. However, look how nice it looks before and after. Even the light fixtures outside, you can totally do that. Okay, so give that a try. If you don't like this color, it's called Carbon Mist. I thought that was modern and neat. They have a million of different colors for you to choose from. So trust me, the decision may be difficult if you're not sure which colors you want. All right, if you have a countertop that is in decent shape, but you would love to update it on the budget, you can actually paint your countertop. You don't have to replace it and spend thousands of dollars on granite or quartz or marble. Okay, Gianni countertop, I found this also on Amazon. It's a little bit cheaper than what you find in Home Depot, which is Rustoleum also makes it. okay? The whole kit comes with everything that you need to paint your whole countertop, okay? And look at the colors. They have everything from dark to white, and it's going to make your countertops look like granite for 80 bucks. So I thought that was a pretty cool way of doing it completely on the budget. And again, you know, you're painting something, so it's gonna make it look fresh no matter what. All right, if your lighting is updating, let's talk about updating, okay? So here are some suggestions for you. My favorite places to shop for some of the lighting, I would start with Wayfair. Overall, Wayfair has become a giant in everything household. You can find everything in any color with tons of color options. And this is where I bought some of my stuff, things, and this is where I recommend clients kind of go and check things out. Okay, and then other options are Overstock and of course Home Depot and Lowe's. If you truly like to see things in life versus trying to see them on the picture too, and you're not sure if you're going to like it or not. Okay, so what we are looking and seeing right now are modern light colors, modern design, brushed nickel, oil rubbed bronze. Okay, so these are some of the samples that I gave you. These 3 lights are from Wayfair, and this one that is hanging in the dining room of my friend's house is from Home Depot. Okay, so some of these modern things, you can definitely see them. If you want maybe more choices for you to look at, you can check out some of the specialty lighting stores because they have so many options and that's all they sell. All right, let's talk about a tip and trick in the kitchen. If you have recessed lighting, but you would love to get pendants, they actually sell these converters on Amazon where you can just pop them in and you have a pendant hanging. I thought it was a really neat idea, you know, because pendants are in right now. You have some really interesting like industrial designs. So if you want more lighting that is lower in your kitchen, maybe over your prep area, or maybe above your sink, right? Sometimes you have that. This is a great way to give it a try, and they're not expensive either. All right, let's talk about bathrooms, okay? If you have some of those places that have some interesting colors, pastels, blacks, and pinks, right? A great way without completely tearing out the tile, which may be in good shape, is for you to actually paint it, okay? So Rustoleum does make a great product that's called Tub and Tile Refinishing Kit. Now, because it's more of a heavier job, the paint is actually epoxy. So you have to be careful, you have to read instructions, it has to be done and be very well ventilated because it's smelly. And if you don't trust yourself, do hire a professional, right? So overall, without tearing up everything, to refinish a tub, it's about $300, just to give you an idea. And then the wall is going to be a different price. So this is a more of a pricier project. However, overall, in the bigger picture, it's definitely less expensive than tearing up everything and then putting new walls, maybe doing new tile work. All right, number 11. This is just some suggestion that I thought was interesting. It's more in terms of how to make your space look more visually bigger, okay? So I want you to think about the curtains that you have hanging in your home currently, right? I don't know who taught us and why we do this, but we always frame the curtains right around the window. And what it does visually, it makes that wall in that room look smaller because you're framing something, like truly framing it, okay? If you ever look at magazines or if you ever look at pictures of designers who stage new construction, they always hang curtains and shower curtains as high up to the ceiling as possible. Because what it does, it helps the space look larger and more spacious. Okay, so here's your rule of thumb. 13 inches from the side, 10 inches on the top. Okay, so I want you to try this out. That's maybe your homework to do, you know, something different this weekend, is to see if you can move your curtains up and out and see if it's going to make your space look bigger. These couple of pictures that I wanted to share with you, look how high the curtains are, right? They are hanging just almost to the ceiling, and this is an actual sliding door. And the same thing here. The higher you hang them, the more spacious your room is going to look. So I'll be curious to see if anybody does that, and I would love to see your results. So just something interesting that you don't realize, but if you look at magazines, like if you have an HGTV magazine or you have maybe Better Homes and Gardens, if you ever look at any of those homes, you'll see their curtains hung as high and as wide because it makes the room look so much bigger. Project number 12, doors. I don't know about you guys, but I love barn doors. And it's actually one of the easiest projects because you need something that can be used as a door. And I truly say that because I've seen people use pallets. I've seen people putting stuff together out of pieces of wood and flooring because that's what they wanted. And you just need hardware for it, right? So you need something to hang and you need a hardware for it. What I love about barn doors is that they're great for small spaces, right? If you have no way of swinging doors and if you only have a small place to work with, barn doors are great. And again, they can be used in any room of the house. What I love about this one in the dining room is, look, instead of having an accent wall, they have accent door. And I thought this was amazing. This is one of my latest additions where people are just, being so creative with color. And I love it because it's, they even have like matching flowers set on that table. But I just thought it was a unique way. Who says that your door has to be white, right? Go again, try and experiment like I suggest you experiment with your exterior door. Do the same thing with the doors in your other rooms, but inside your home. All right, number 13. Let's talk about some easy decorating tips, okay? One of the easiest ways for you to dress up any wall is to hang some pictures. And again, it does not have to be anything expensive. What I have suggested is for you to find some coffee books, right? If you head over to Barnes & Noble or if you find something online, coffee books are usually made, they're big, they're quality paper, and it's quality photos. And let's say you find something like, for example, I love castles, right? I actually have a big coffee book it's called Castles of the World. So you can actually make a dramatic wall with, like a 7-piece, like here's an example. You can do like a frame of a wall of frames, and you can frame anything you want. Whatever it is that makes you happy. It could be pictures of your family. It could be places where you travel, right? Look through the pictures on your phone and figure out what are some of the things that make you happy. And then you can go to CVS or Walgreens and print those pictures very inexpensively in any size you want, and you can make a great collage that you can hang anywhere in your home. And it doesn't have to be all the same color. Here is something that I picked from Pinterest on ways that you can kind of just do different sizes and they look just as awesome, right? And you can actually go on Amazon and buy like this one set that I have an example here. You get 7 frames. They come in like 3 or 4 colors and you can buy them for $35. You print your photos and then you have a great wall. So, all right, some other little things. Let's talk about the weekend projects for wall decor. And you know what? This actually fits what I was telling you about my clients buying a house that has some interesting decoration ideas. Okay, if you are looking for, to kind of incorporate the styles that are in, but you don't have the budget for it, right? You don't have to actually bring the bricks. You don't actually have to bring the shiplap in the house. These are things, all of them are popular. Okay, they actually sell wallpaper that makes it look like it. So why don't you make an accent wall out of it? Okay, it is definitely an easy project that you can do in half of the day. And you can use this wallpaper anywhere in your house, bedrooms, even like a backsplash in your kitchen or the bathroom, anywhere you can think of. I think these are just amazing ways to make an impact in your home, in your favorite space, and still bring the things and the ideas that you truly like that are in style right now. Decorative window film for privacy, right? You see that a lot of the times on the bathroom windows or maybe on the front door. Don't put stuff that's boring, right? Like no frosted paper for me. Look at all these designs that they have right now. I saw this on Amazon. You can have flowers, you can have dots and squares. And you know what's cool? When you see the sunshine on that paper, it can actually leave like rainbow colors on your wall. So I just thought that was unique. And I'm kind of encouraging you to try something more different than the boring stuff that you see at, Walmart or Target. So kind of experiment and try different things. Have some other ideas for you. Easy ways to decorate is you can purchase these. These are fake Monstera palm trees. You can buy them even at Michael's or Joann's, and you can stick them in just about any container, and you can put them in any room, and they will instantly dress up your space. The cable cover channel, I thought it was a unique thing where, you know, if you have the TV hanging on the wall, but you don't have a stand to hide your cord behind it, this channel is a great way for you to organize and make your cords look all nice and neat. You can even paint it, right? It can be the same color of the paint as your wall, or if you want, you can leave it white. And this wall shelf that I found also, like all this stuff is Amazon, okay? I actually love it because you can have it in any room of your home. Like this example here is in the kitchen. I have seen people use this in the entryway when you come in, and they hang their dog tags on it and the doggy poop bags, and then they have their keys and their purses. You can hang this in the bathroom, right, to use for your towels, for your vanity little items. And I think it's like less than $15. Right? And they have different colors. So you can check that out. And what I like about it is that it's so versatile that you can use it in any room of your home. All right, let's talk about bathrooms. What can we do in our bathrooms to make our space better? If you are looking for some renovation ideas, right? So here's a pictures of before and after. You can dress up your mirror by framing it and removing the clips. Okay, and also you can update the handles. You can update your handles, your lighting, and you can dress up the bathroom this way. And some other ways that I have found helpful, this is actually from my decluttering class, things that you can use to maximize the space that you have in your vanity, right? You can hang things on your doors to organize the items that you use on a regular basis. You can use these stands with baskets. You can also hang your towels on the backs of your bathroom door. Did you guys know that? You just have to make sure that you're using the right hardware. But if you have a small bathroom and you don't have any room for hooks or for the rods to put the towels on, you can actually use the back of your door. So, and of course I love these, you know, free floating shelves and the little picture to dress up just about any bathroom and put the necessities out there. All right, let's talk about garage or any kind of storage space that you have. I encourage you to use your walls and your ceiling space, right? You can actually hang the overhead ceiling storage, and you can put different totes or items maybe that you don't use on a regular basis. I just encourage you to use clear totes, that way you can see what's in them. And then on the bottom, you can use hooks, and then you can actually lift stuff off the floor and hang other things that are, you know, maybe used more often, but you know, they can be hanging and free up the space in your storage area. And of course, on the walls, you can hang these really handy storage systems to hang your tools, your gardening equipment, anything that you can think of. These are extremely versatile to use for just about anything that you may want to store in your storage or your garage. All right, talking about Rustoleum. It is an extremely versatile brand. I absolutely love it. It has tons of options. You can find it very easily online or in Home Depot and Lowe's. They have a countertop paint. They also have tile paint. They have kitchen cabinet paint, and then other paint. Anything that you can think of, Rustoleum makes it. You want magnetic, you can do chalkboard, dry erase, glow in the dark. They have an epoxy paint for appliances, and best of all, it is very budget friendly. So you can definitely check it out. All right, ideas on where to buy things and where to get ideas, okay? Number one, of course, Home Depot and Lowe's, right? Our trusty neighborhood stores. Floor and Decor is a great store. There's one in Langhorne here in Bucks County, another one in Burlington County in Morristown. What I like about that store, it is fully stocked, right? So whatever you see is in there. You can actually say, I want 2 pallets of that, and you can take it home with you the same day. None of that stuff is special order. And you can take a piece of flooring and you can take some tile and you can put it together and you can see, does it work for my idea, right? Wayfair is great. Lamps Plus Open Box is a great place to shop some of the lighting that I found that was affordable. And of course, Overstock, Amazon, eBay, And ideas, right? A place for ideas is house with double Z's.com, and then of course Pinterest. So I wanted to share with you too. So the last page of our workshop is if you're looking for other workshops, here's a great site that we update on the weekly basis. And of course, you can always tune into our YouTube channel for recordings of other workshops that we do, as well as we actually put out new content and new videos on a weekly basis. And if you are going to be taking some ideas from our workshop, we would love to see your before and after pictures. So please share that with us, text messages or emails, or if you find us on Facebook, we are happy to connect with you. But I just wanted to share with you, like if you can see behind me, because I'm in my family room, the bookshelves that are behind me were actually an idea from House, right? That's that website that I recommend, house.com. And my idea was I love to read, and I always wanted to have white built-in shelves, okay? When I priced them out, I realized that they were more expensive than I wanted to spend. So I saw this exact idea on house.com. And they tell you, okay, the shelves are from here, and you buy this here and there. So the shelves were actually from IKEA, and that's exactly what I did, right? So I went to IKEA and I bought my shelves, and I built, I have a TV hanging, which is right there. And then below that, I have a small fireplace that is hanging. So in the wintertime, I can turn on the fireplace, and I had to kind of modify my idea, but I actually like this way better now than the white shelves. So I actually took my own advice, just so you know. But this is what I have to share with you today. I hope you found some of the tips and ideas helpful. We are going to email everybody the workbook and the links to the information. But if you are going to be doing any updates and upgrades based on the ideas that we shared today, please let us know. We would love to see your before and during and afters. It's always cool to see people taking what they learn and then making their own. So now if you have questions, we're happy to take them. You can unmute yourselves and ask away, or if you want to put them in the chat box as well, you can do that too.
Olga, for those who are still renting or are terrified of putting nail holes in the wall, what have you found to be the best temporary or non-permanent wall hanging things?
What I can tell you is that typically with landlords, they don't mind if you put things on the wall. It's just before you decide to move, you have to patch them, right? And I found that if you make small holes, you can use caulk to patch them. And command strips are your friends as well. So you can use them. You just have to learn how to take them off. I'm a fan of small, thin, white paneling nails because they're thin enough, yet they're sturdy enough if you wanted to hang some things. But if you're trying to do like a collage that we're talking about and you truly don't want to put holes in the wall, you can do command strips.
Great, thank you. So really encourage questions. If anyone even has any feedback, what was your favorite tip that Olga shared tonight? Something you'd like to try or hope to implement in your own home? I don't have a garage, but I love the fact that you can simply buy decorative magnets like that. And then also that I could, even the stainless steel appliance stickies, I think that's a fabulous choice because, stainless steel is certainly popular, but it definitely costs more. When you peel that off, does it come off pretty easily? And of course it's supposed to be easy. And even I would tell you that the command strips still rip the paint off my wall, so I haven't learned to take them off properly. I'm very guilty of that. So I'm also just keep that picture up there. As far as the peel and stick, like wallpaper and even for the appliance covers, has your experience been that they are pretty easy to come off?
Honestly, I'm not sure because everybody that has done that, they wanted to make it more permanent than temporary.
Okay.
I do know that some people actually use the appliance paint. They actually sell stainless steel paint that you can paint your appliances with. So I think definitely looking at the instructions would be a good idea for that. Sounds like
Always a good idea.
yeah, absolutely.
I like the garage mounts. That looks really interesting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I always feel like people, what I see all the time is people don't utilize the space they have, right? When we talk about, remember from our decluttering class, I see people leaving so much space even in their closets, right? If you have a small place and you have maybe one closet in the bedroom, you truly need to maximize every single corner, right? Top and bottom. So that's why we always suggest doing the organizers, because you don't have a lot of space. And the same thing people do with basements and if they have garages and, you know, even in pantry. So I'm a big proponent of using every space that you have wisely.
Yes.
Agreed. So Jessica did put in the chat feature links to both Olga's YouTube page, as well as if you want to sign up for to see their upcoming webinars. Olga and her team put on several webinars every month and reached out to us for this the decluttering one last month, and then this top renovation ones this month. So but there's so much more to explore, so please check out that page. And Olga and Jessica, thank you so much. I need to kick myself in the butt and get moving on, first on the decluttering part, but then to really have some fun with decorating. I think for me, for the renovation stuff, I get so nervous, one, about perfection, which I know before we started recording, you talked about how with all these shows, it looks great on camera, but it's also really far away and the lighting's perfect. You know, even those shows, there are a lot of imperfections that we all have to give ourselves some room for imperfect, and imperfect is beautiful in its own right. But just making the wrong choice, like, what if I don't like it, or what if I mess up? And I think that's the thing, is just take the chance, you know, explore. I think the awesome thing about everything you presented, they're really affordable options. So if you don't like it, paint it a different color, you know, and I love the idea of having paint samples and trying them out before you do the whole wall, because it's not fun. Do it good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did anybody else have questions? So Diana wrote, I would like to install barn doors, paint the front door, and paint the kitchen cabinets. Great ideas. Well, listen, guys, we're heading into a fall and winter season, right? We kind of try to hibernate, right? And so that might be a good time. If you have a rainy day, you can start exploring options on the computer, right? You can do some painting inside, or you can do some reorganizing. I think the idea is to try and do something, even as little as it may be. It will give you a sense of satisfaction because you started. So
that's such a good point. Just start it.
Absolutely. Just a little bit, just something, right? And you know what? That software, if you're not sure about color, but you want to do some painting, play around with that software, that visualizer that Sherwin-Williams has. I was like a kid in the toy store when I was playing with them. I'm like, oh my God, which room am I going to test it on, right? Because you can paint it any color you want, and then you erase it, and then you try it again, right? So there's no mistakes. And it was pretty cool to play with different colors, because sometimes we can't visualize it, right? Just in our minds, you have to see it. We're all visual creatures. So definitely take advantage of the technology that they put out there and give it a shot. Or do stickies, right? The Post-it notes, I think, is genius. You don't even get your walls dirty. You just peel it off when you're done.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, those who are still on, the Habitat Resource in Chalfont and Langhorne and throughout the country have a lot of renovation materials in them. For our stores in Bucks County, we actually sell chalk paint and painting materials. So in a lot of different fun colors. That's a new product. We also have flooring, and you know, if you want to even just put in a new, you know, vanity, or put in a new piece of furniture that you dress up on your own, or just to help also declutter, but also dress up a space, you know, the prices that we have really can't be beat most of the time, and high quality stuff. My couch and my picture behind it is from the Restore. So, and sometimes, you know, changing furniture, or even I think even like accent pillows is a fun, easy transformation thing that moves with you no matter where you are. And again, that's something that, you know, Wayfair, Overstock, but our Restores have that too, which is fun.
I was actually you just reminded me, I showed a house yesterday, and I could tell that the vanities were older because of the style of trim. So I knew they were the oak cabinets, but she painted them in that nice, dark gray color. And it had a nice crisp top vanity, top. So she might have just replaced the top, but she kept the actual vanity, and it was, done really well. And it was like a brand new bathroom, right? Because I knew what I was looking for, because this is what I do in my workshops, right? Because I came on, I'm like, that's an awesome paint job. So somebody could, took the same ideas. You don't have to replace it. Like, paint can truly go a long way. That's for sure.
That's awesome.
All right, everyone, I think we're wrapping up. Thank you so much for joining us. Stephanie, again, thank you so much for having us. And hopefully we'll see you another day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Olga. Thank you, Jess, for all your work and magic behind the scenes. Everyone, thank you so much. Enjoy this fall weather. Stay safe.
Thank you for all the great ideas.
All right.
Yep. Thank you.
Pleasure. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.